Shalom, family. I just got finished fulfilling some orders and have some time. I'm not tired. I'm actually kind of wound up right now. So I said I would come back and do a live stream. So here I am. And I knew they would drop these people from these insurance policies. And a company did that prior to the fire. And they're not going to pay out on all of these homes. And I think some of these people are realizing they're out of luck, and they really are. Thank you, Praise Yah, for your super chat. May your seeds bring plentiful harvest. Thank you for your work. Thank you. Thank you for your donation. So, everybody, I'm going to show you a video, and then I have a bunch of slides of the damage. Some of them are aerial shots and some are not, but it's going to be a combination of both. But I want to play this video for you in regards to insurance being dropped. And these homeowners, if they were not able to get any insurance prior to what has happened, they're going to really be out of luck. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Devastating wildfires in Los Angeles exposing a major issue for California homeowners as at least one major insurer leaves to avoid losses.
Cheryl Casoni from our sister network Fox Business is here with the details. Cheryl, for some families, from one nightmare to another.
It is, and this is when the idea of your home insurance, your rental insurance really becomes reality. Most of us never lose our property and have to go through this. Unfortunately, the people in California this morning are waking up to this after losing their homes again. And reportedly, we're now at 2,000 structures that have been destroyed. Now, there was a report in Newsweek this morning about State Farm. They're the largest insurance company in California. They have reportedly canceled hundreds of homeowners' policies just this past summer in Pacific Palisades specifically, according to Newsweek. And they justified it because they're trying to avoid, quote, financial failure. They cite the frequency and severity of wildfires in the Golden State. There is also a very lengthy opinion piece in Bloomberg today on the website talking about the California, these fires expose a potential nationwide $1 trillion hole in U.S. home insurance. What we're seeing in places like California, Florida, more so in Florida because of the hurricanes.
Here's how I...
All right, some buffering here. Okay. Well, if it pops back,
that even in California, people aren't renewing their policies, or they don't have the proper insurance. They can't get fire insurance, or they choose not to because of this leads to rates going up. This leads to the states being on the hook, maybe the federal government being on the hook. Again, it's $1 trillion exposure. The Senate Budget Committee, guys, just last month published a report called Next to Fall. The climate-driven insurance crisis is here and getting worse. And in the report, they talk about these states in this country that are at most at risk: Florida, Louisiana, California, Texas. These are the states that are experiencing the highest number of non-renewal rates. What that means is when you have less people insuring their homes, the rates for those that are paying for home insurance go up. So they're saying that's $1 trillion problem. Also want to go back to Pacific Palisades just for a second. This is the zip code is 90272. There were 1,930 policy non-renewals in that zip code in Pacific Palisades between 2019 and 2024. According to the San Francisco Chronicle, that's 28 out of 100 policies that were not renewed. You have a potential right now of $6 billion of losses just in Pacific Palisades right now. And this is where the California Insurance Commissioner, he spoke to the local Los Angeles affiliate, and he came out and he said, he's telling people, don't sign anything. If you've lost your home and an adjuster shows up at your house today, don't sign anything. There's a 3-day cooling off period. Be careful, because the insurance companies, I'm telling you, these adjusters will give you 70% of what your house is worth, when legally you're supposed to get 100% of what your house is.
They just try to take advantage of the fact that you're desperate.
Yes.
And you want the money in your hands now.
Yes.
To follow up on something you said, so what you're saying is these insurers will reallocate risk amongst all of us, not just the homeowners and the insurance payers in California, so that everyone's insurance rates are going to go up in order to reallocate the risk from events like this.
On a state-by-state basis, yes. And the bigger problem is Florida because of the hurricanes. We've already seen a lot of problems in Florida. There are people there are people that are trying to buy homes and want to buy homes in Florida. They can't get insurance. And then what you have in Florida, which I'm afraid and I worry about California, is what you start to see is these not so highbrow insurance companies, these kind of risky insurers start to sell people policies and then they go bankrupt. We've seen that in Florida. And so this is devastating. As you guys, as I do, we have friends that have lost everything in these fires. One of my good friends has lost everything, but they're going to rebuild. It's how you do it, and be careful.
Yeah, and this is one devastation on top of another. And when it comes to the insurance, something that people will be grappling with for days, weeks, months, and years to come. Cheryl, thank you so much for joining us. Miss Cheryl on Mornings with Maria.
That's a good point.
Okay. So you saw that, right? You know, I think it's rotten that an insurance company takes your money and then just randomly throw you off of the insurance. And that's it. Loveline Turner, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you, Lisa, for all you do. Thank you for your support. I do appreciate it. I think it's rotten to take people's money, and some of these insurance companies will take your money for years and then they just drop you whenever they're good and ready. Florida is a bad state, and not only do you have problems getting insurance in Florida, um, they are having a hard time selling those homes. You know, folks do want to move to Florida, but they don't want to deal with the natural disasters. And being that it's getting so difficult to even get insurance in Florida, that's why they said some of the houses down there have been sitting on the market for a long time. I don't know if you want to buy a house where there are always hurricanes going through that state. And if something happens to the house and you don't have the insurance, you end up with nothing. So it's rough. Now, I heard there is a new fire that have broken out in California in West Hills. And that fire just started today from all of the wind blowing around there. It has spread and it's going to continue to spread, y'all. They are at such a deficit right now in California as far as all the resources that they need to put the fire out. And, you know, they said the winds have lightened up some. And I did see on the screen where some areas they were in the 100-mile-an-hour range. They're now down to 80, but even that's too strong, you know? Even that's really strong. So I think that's what they're counting on, to be able to do more once the winds finally diminish a little more. But I'm going to show you some of the shots. You can see this is a before and after. And boy, what a difference. I mean, these areas where the fire was is a huge area. You know, at first they were saying it was 1,000 structures. Now they're saying 2,000 structures, mainly homes, are now gone. Loveline, thank you so much for another super chat. Shalom to all. Shalom to you too. Thank you. And here is an aerial shot. And it looks like everything down there has been burnt. You can even see the smoke in these pictures. Man, this thing was massive. It still is. It's still going strong. You know, they still, the last time I looked, just before I came on the live stream, they are still saying 0% contained. And if it's spreading to West Hills, that tells you right there, you know, they have nothing under control. Wow. This is definitely look like a year of destruction for America. I mean, if this is how your first month of the year and the Gentile New Year is starting, man, I sure wouldn't want to be you. Here's another aerial shot. This is a huge, I mean, you're talking, this area is ginormous and it's all burnt up. And these are aerial shots that came out less than 24 hours ago. Here's a picture of, all of these abandoned cars that are they're completely gone, all scorched up. Wow. And some of the businesses that were once there are completely gone. Wow. Yeah, I mean, these folks talking about they're gonna rebuild, no, no, they're not, y'all. People are not gonna return back to this place again. They're not gonna return back here. And wow, look at that city. Look at LA. It's like a big old dark cloud over the whole city. That is absolutely crazy. I'm sure this is much worse if you were there looking at it in person. I'm sure it would be far worse. I know these pictures, they can only do so much. Yeah, but you know what? If y'all remember in Maui, when that place burnt up, after they had a lot of people coming down there scamming folks, saying, "Oh yeah, we'll help you rebuild," and what they were doing was scamming people. So trust me, the scammers are coming. They are coming, and these folks are not going to get anything back. Unfortunately, they'll see the light. I wonder what this statue was before. It's headless. Man, I hope this wasn't one of them damn lawn jockeys. I'm just saying. You know, one day I was taking a detour down a street because they were doing construction, and I came across a house in my neighborhood with lawn jockeys. And I was like, people still got them things. Uh, mm, mm, mm. I believe this is a church. And Big Levi showed this church earlier. How you doing, Kid Gravity? Okay. Wow. Mhm. I guess that was a motorcycle. Ooh. There's nothing left. Wow. I never thought I would see something like this happen. Never. It looked like a bomb hit this place. Mm-mm-mm. I'm always amazed at how these trees are, everything, all the structures around the tree is gone and the trees are still literally standing. Wow. Mm-mm-mm. If the Most High wants an area gone, it's gonna be gone. Okay, it is gone. It is nothing you can do. Wow. Yeah, and I did see the map of where some of the stars lived. I did not do anything on that because I noticed none of the stars were melanated. None of them were. And I'm like, oh, is it that kind of area, huh? It seems to be melanin free over in the Palisades. If it isn't, then maybe that's the side that didn't get burned. But from what I saw, when I looked at the map, I saw Jamie Lee Curtis, Steven Spielberg, um, Tom Hanks. I saw people like that, but I didn't see anybody melanated in that area that got burnt up. Shoot, I didn't see anything with melanin over there at all. Mm, mm, mm. Wow. Well, wherever that was, it had a spiral staircase. See the ocean right there. Can you imagine that? You live right in front of an ocean and your whole structure still burnt down. You were around a full body of water. That's probably the Pacific Ocean right there. You're right. Can you just picture that? You're right by water. Lots and lots of water. And your structure still burnt completely down and you're directly in front of the ocean. See, that's when I think the Most High is mocking them. You're around all that water and still lost everything. Mm, mm, mm. Wow. Mm, mm, mm. That says peace. Don't look very peaceful, but it says peace. Wow. I don't know. Is the Palisades was that sundown or any of the towns around it? There's so many in this country. It's not even funny. Oh, brother Moriel, shalom to you. See, I don't know a lot about California. Those of you that live out in California, you would, know the areas a lot better than I would. So I don't know if the Palisades was sundown or is. Usually nothing is sundown and then it's not it's always sundown. That's one thing I do know. Once a place is sundown, it's always sundown. The Palisades is a Jewish community. Oh, is that why Steven Spielberg was living over there? Okay, because it said he had a place over there. Okay. 80%, Astarte Jones says, is 80% Caucasian, 3% melanated. Well, they didn't interview no melanated people because everybody, it seems like every news clip I saw where they interviewed residents, not one was melanated. And then when they showed where the stars live, none of them were melanated. I was like, okay. Okay. Yeah, I saw Jamie Lee Curtis because she was crying about losing her home. She said she lost everything. And I saw Diane Keaton lived over there. And I think Michael Keaton lived over there. Um, just a few of the names I can think of right off the top of my head. Oh yeah, when I was looking through some of the stories, And yeah, James Woods, I did see him. He was crying. I did see Shawnette. I did see that earlier. I think I saw it like late morning today. I was looking through, and yeah, some of them are putting their own videos up talking about how they lost everything. And he was crying. He was crying. So it just goes to show you it is real. It is real. And let me just remind America, when you burned our stuff down, our people wept, our people cried. Black Wall Street, Rosewood, after Reconstruction, over 200 towns were burnt down. You think our people didn't cry? Of course they did. Nobody, I have never met anybody that is okay with losing everything. You know why they had so many riots in America, so many race riots? Because they were profitable. After the riot was over, they could steal the land, they can steal the business, the livestock that's there, and they could literally steal anything they want. And a lot of the riots were for profit. That's why there were so many in this country. Whenever they would get finished coming in mobs to a town of our forefathers, they would run them out and literally take over the town and whatever was standing. That's what happened in Wilmington, North Carolina, because those folks don't even have a deed to those homes. You know why? Because they stole those homes. So why did they have so many race riots? Because it was profitable. That's why they ended up with everything the folks owned, our folks. So as long as there's money to be made, they don't care about coming out in them streets and having a riot, and then when the riot is over, they divvy all the property up and the money in the bank accounts and everything among each other. And that's exactly what they did after every riot. Mhm. And that Wilmington is just one of many places. These folks, it's a reason why they don't have a deed to their, those homes, because those homes were all stolen. So when you see stuff like that, yeah, it puts you in mind of the history of what our people have gone through when it comes down to burning down places. It happened to us a hell of a lot more than it happened to these Gentiles. Mhm. So, y'all, this is just another brief update that I was giving you. And let me thank some of the people. Again, praise Yah. Thank you for the super chat. Loveline, thank you for the 2 super chats. Thank you. I do appreciate anything that you give. And I want to also thank the people that have given cash apps. I had a person give a Zelle and PayPal and my GoFundMe. So thank you to everybody for helping my channel. It really, truly does help. It really does. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Thank you so much for coming, and we'll do this again. In fact, we will probably do it again tomorrow. I do have a few stories that I'm looking at right now to do a live stream on. So please enjoy the rest of your night, family. Shalom.